So the reason why I believe that is because the federal government currently spends just under $7 trillion a year.
Take a listen.
The government's discretionary budget is $1.7 trillion. The rest is mandatory spending, which includes things such as Social Security and Medicare.
Now, this right here, these words right here, my finger kind of cuts off, but just imagine my finger going all the way over here. That's the important part. And that right there is what, in my opinion, they're going to cut or gouge as much as possible, because one, Social Security is something that Republicans beyond my life have been trying to chip at little by little. All right, so it pains me to say, like I am a patriot of this country. I love America, and trust me, I wanted to do amazing under Republican or Democratic administrations. I just want America to do good. But we have to be honest. And seeing these two next to me, that doesn't scream honesty. That doesn't scream like these are individuals that have just the regular folks that work for them, the bottom of the barrel, what I'm saying? Like, they don't scream they're fighting for you. So when I'm trying to come to grips of, I just want them to be responsible in whatever positions that they're in and help the American people. And when it comes to DOGE, which is a cryptocurrency, but I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. If they can go in there and, mitigate some of the wasteful spending, cool. That actually would be nice. In educating myself further into what they're supposed to be doing, I learned some things, because this isn't the first administration to do something like this. It just wasn't glamorized like this. It's been done before, and it actually reaped some pretty beneficial consequences. So, but what's the reality of two billionaires or one millionaire and another billionaire, the richest person on the earth? Can they really go into government and do what needs to be done for the American people's behalf? Or are they going to revert to what they do best and look out for themselves? Because anyone who's made millions of dollars off of a company, or even billion, done some shady things. And that goes to Vivek. Looking at his history, there's some questionable things he did to get those millions of dollars. And we already know Elon Musk has union bust, has treated his employees like trash, and used billions of dollars of government subsidies. The exact thing he wants to go into the government to clean up, he's been a benefit off of it. So can we trust these individuals to do what they're supposed to do? Let's go ahead and take a listen. And this dude right here, like, you have to listen to people that actually are professionals in the field. So let's listen to this young man right here kind of tell us about what their purpose, and can it really happen?
President-elect Donald Trump announced the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE. Now, Trump wrote on Truth Social that DOGE will be led by the great Elon Musk and the American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy. In Trump's official statements, he writes what the purpose of this department will be. The primary objectives of DOGE are cut wasteful spending, slash excess regulations, dismantle government bureaucracy, and restructure federal agencies. Now, Trump's official statement says that DOGE will provide advice and guidance from outside of governments, will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budgets, will terminate on July 4th of 2026. The goal is a smaller and more efficient governments with less bureaucracy. Now, let me answer some frequently asked questions, and these are some good questions. Can Trump create this department? Is he allowed to do this? The answer is an undeniable yes, because this department is not part of the government. So I want to show you this video clip of Senator Blumenthal that explains it, so take a look.
The so-called Department of Government Efficiency doesn't exist. It's a creation of the imagination of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and therefore doesn't require Senate confirmation, but also has no power to do anything except make some recommendations.
And I think that right there answers one of my questions that I had, is like, how much power do they really have? And of course, they could probably do some shady things still and, manipulate rules and regulations of the government to hopefully not try to issue some sort of power. But just on paper, they don't have government entity powers. You know what I'm saying? They're not like an added branch of our government, so, put your rest aside. They're advisors at most. So there you go.
So it is clear that Trump is allowed to do this. And as a matter of fact, President Bill Clinton set up something similar. Mm-hmm. So when Clinton did this, it was called the National Performance Review. Now I want to show you this video clip of Senator Booker.
Bill Clinton did this. He created this reinventing government focus that Al Gore led, and they found a lot of inefficiencies and corruption. I've been saying this for a long time. And if this is really about getting inefficiencies and waste and corruption out of our government, then we should be supporting that as Democrats.
Now, I want to show you Elon Musk speaking about DOGE.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're being taxed. You're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
I don't care how many times I see that clip. He's always an awkward person. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I try to look at him and listen to him to be serious. I just can't. But okay, that's not the point of this video.
And since Vivek Ramaswamy is also going to be leading this department, I want to show you a clip of him as well.
It's going to be the most transparent effort. We're certainly aiming to make this a transparent process so the American people can see how their money is being wasted. So we're all in it on the same team to fix it.
Okay, so let me answer this question. How much in government expenses will DOGE attempt to cut?
Here we go.
Elon Musk says that he thinks that they can cut $2 trillion. So please take a look.
But we set up DOGE.
Yes.
How much do you think we can rip out of this wasted $6.5 trillion Harris-Biden budget?
Well, I think we can do at least $2 trillion.
Now, will DOGE have the power to go in there and to start cutting expenses and making changes? The answer is no, absolutely not. Again, DOGE is not part of the government. Congress needs to vote on most of the things that they're talking about, which includes budget cuts and deregulation.
So once again, that somewhat gives a peace of mind, because once we kind of go further into this conversation, it's really few things that they can really just go in there and start cutting. You know what I'm saying? Like, my family, for example, like, we live comfortable. We're not too extravagant. I don't have a whole, $200-$300, shoe collection, but, we do some fun things, but we live within our means. So if someone tried to, go into my expenses and see what they can cut, it's not really too much. This meat is pretty trim. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty lean already. So how much can they really cut, and can they just start ripping things and just, destroying these agencies as they claim? They still have to go through Congress. They still have to go through checks and balances, which is a peace of mind, because once again, I don't really trust billionaires and CEOs to do things that's for the people's benefit. So that gives me a little peace of mind. Once again, we're going to test. We're going to see how thick and strong these boundaries are, and can our, democracy actually hold against selfish, greedy people.
In Trump's official statement, he acknowledges that DOGE will only provide advice and guidance from outside of government and will partner with the White House. But this is important to understand. Although DOGE can only give advice and guidance, the department will still be influential. And there's power in that. When President Clinton did this, even though it was not an official government agency, they found waste and corruption that led to the firing of thousands of government jobs.
And that right there, I'm going to have to block out some time of my day today or tomorrow to figure out what corruptions and what money he was able to save. Because if we can have a standard or like a goal, you know, like something to where we can compare what DOGE wants to do, which I'm not going to keep calling that. That sounds so corny as hell. What the Trump administration can do compared to what Clinton did, then we can say, hey, you failed at this because this is what happened, you know, early 2000s, late 19, we can compare. But if we don't do that, they can make up whatever lies, whatever they want. But if we don't have something to compare it to, then we can't hold them accountable, or we can say, you guys sucked at what you're supposed to do. So I need to look into that. And once I do, of course, I'm going to let you guys know.
Another good question is, how effective will DOGE be? So this is where I give you my opinion. You can let me know yours in the comments down below.
Oh, for sure.
I believe that DOGE will not be able to cut $2 trillion from the federal government's budget. So the reason why I believe that is because the federal government currently spends just under $7 trillion a year.
Take a listen.
The government's discretionary budget is $1.7 trillion. The rest is mandatory spending, which includes things such as Social Security and Medicare.
Now, this right here, these words right here, my finger kind of cuts off, but just imagine my finger going all the way over here. That's the important part. And that right there is what, in my opinion, they're going to cut or gouge as much as possible because one, Social Security is something that Republicans beyond my life have been trying to chip at little by little. And Democrats, I mean, for as spineless as they are, they've been fighting against that. But how much fighting are they going to do now? In 2024, like, they have been laying on the floor, being floor mats to the Republican Party in just about every conversation. So them cutting that in Medicare, hey, it's weird that we have the welfare king Elon Musk now in charge of cutting, and what is he gonna do? Cut welfare, because he's been on record already talking about how he needs or how he would like the government to cut that because it's waste of money to him. But the government giving him subsidies over $1 billion is not a waste. Once again, I don't know if I can trust these greedy people to go in there and do what's good for the American people versus what's good for their companies or other CEOs and business owners. I don't know.
That means that DOGE would have to cut the federal government's entire discretionary budget and some mandatory spending. So just using common sense, that's not realistic. So I do believe that DOGE's advice and guidance will result in elimination of some government waste, inefficiencies, and corruption. I don't think that'll be enough to move the needle, but I'm all in favor of not wasting taxpayer money.
Of course.
Okay, so here's how I feel about this. I'm just gonna speak plainly. If a Democrat like Clinton is trying to cut government waste, I support that. If a Republican like Trump is trying to cut government waste, I support that as well.
Makes sense.
So when I say that I support this government waste cutting initiative, that is not a political statement. It's just a basic fiscal responsibility and stance against inefficiency and corruption. So that's my opinion. You can let me know what you think. Yes, and here's another thing. I believe that DOGE will look for the best bang for their buck in terms of their goals. So I believe that this is going to include reducing Medicare fraud, decreasing America's contributions to the United Nations, the UN, and ending certain subsidies.
And that right there, once again, this is not, I don't want to say this is not an issue, but Elon Musk wants to cut around $2 trillion. You're not going to find $2 trillion in Medicare fraud. You're not. There's already 1,000,001 hoops and loops and hurdles already to try to prevent that. So if they can somehow cut $2 trillion, not gonna happen. Okay, and what's the next one? Ending certain subsidies. What subsidies are they gonna cut that is not going to undercut people like Elon Musk? Because like I said, he's benefited more than anyone when it comes to government subsidies. And he's supposed to be the richest person on earth, but doesn't want to use his own money. Like, it doesn't make sense. Folks who are on Medicare usually don't have enough money. They're making less than what, 30,000 a year, around there, give or take a couple of thousand. But the richest person on earth is taking government subsidy, taxpayer money. That alone doesn't make any sense to me. But we're going to put him in charge of cutting waste in government spending. Like, hey, like I said, prove me wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen.
So there's a wide range of estimates on how much these three actions could save, but it's over $100 billion. So I believe that would be a good start. So listen, I want to tell you this. I think that those would be good starting points. I'm sure that you can think of so many programs where you just don't see the value, just straight up waste of money.
All right. So let's just have this conversation. All right. Let's just be honest. Okay. Let's prepare for the worst, or let's hope for the best. Okay. I got that flipped around. Let's hope for the best. If they can do what they said that they're going to do, and it actually is beneficial to the American people, and they're being 100% transparent in just about everything that they're doing, cool. I will give props when props is due. I'm no punk in doing that. If they can do that and show the numbers, hey. But I gotta say, if sometimes you just have to trust what people are telling you. You know, if you want to know who someone is, sometimes you just have to believe who they are. And unfortunately, when it comes to CEOs and billionaires and millionaires, especially CEOs, they have exploited workers. They have done some shady ass things in their past. And I've done videos talking about Vivek and how he acquired his millionaire status. And it's some questionable things that, to me, in my opinion, he hasn't sufficiently answered. You know, and we already know Elon Musk, that clown. You know, so once again, I am hoping for the best. Okay, I don't want them to destroy our economy. I don't want them to destroy bits and pieces to start chipping away at democracy. Because if they are in charge of deciding what's wasteful or not, then Social Security is gone. Gone. Medicare is already inefficient to a lot of people. It's going to be gone. And how is that going to help the American people? I don't know. But once again, if you guys disagree or agree with anything that I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord link so we can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.